Hello, this is Brett from SurvivalComms, and today we're going to discuss the hand tool complement of the communications technician tool cache. I'm often asked by individuals who may be new to the role or job as a communications technician as to what kind of hand tools I find to be useful. And for the most part, you'll see that it's kind of a learn by experience type of process, more than having some kind of a rigid standard. And that's what's difficult when you start dealing with cache lists and stuff of having tools, because it's an arbitrary set of standards. And we're just going to go over what I consider to be important for the foundation of your communications technician tool cache, which is your hand tool complement. Your hand tool complement is basically your first in bag. This is the bag you're going to grab first and bring with you whenever you're going to service any kind of equipment, vehicles, or whatever have you. And to someone that's in the electrical or telecom trades, a lot of this equipment will be very familiar to them. And what we'll do is we'll just inventory the contents of my hand tool complement. These are the contents of the external pockets. A bit set. You want to make sure that your bit set has slotted and Phillips bits, square bits. You want to make sure it has metric and standard Allen bits, Torx bits, and security bits. Good bit sets are extremely invaluable. A standard tape measure, a cloth tape measure, a set of EMS shears, a set of metric sockets, standard sockets, 1/4 inch drive ratchet, a 5/16 11/32 wrench, a 3/8 wrench, and a 7/16 wrench. A backup set of bits. What you do is you load this with some bits from here that you feel like you may use, and you can put this in your pocket so you don't have to go back and forth to your tool bag if you're working in a confined space. You have a roll of duct tape, electrical tape. This, I need to restock my phasing tape, but this is just a roll of phasing tape, and a roll of masking tape, some cordage is always useful, and a bottle of hand sanitizer. Opening up the front half of the bag, we can see it's pretty much stuffed to capacity. We're going to go over the contents of this clear zippered pouch. These are the contents of the clear pouch. Razor blade scraper, spare razor blades, a test jumper, 18 gauge, 36 inches long with insulated alligator clips. We have more screw bits. We have a DC test light. We have a thumb 1/4 inch driver, a 1/4 inch thumb ratchet, an offset screwdriver, a 1/4 inch nut driver, a 1/4 inch combination wrench, Phillips stubby screwdriver, spare bulbs for the test light, 2 extended reach 1/4 inch drive Phillips screwdrivers. This is a interesting wrench here. This tool is an aluminum slotted tool that's designed for the thumb screws for Motorola radios, and this works up through the XTL series. These are another specialty tool. These are designed for many UHF connectors to tighten them up. Up here we have a banjo, which is just basically a breakout box for RJ45s. We have 2 small Phillips screwdrivers, a couple of Allen wrenches. This is a wrench for old school antenna specialist NMO mounts. Over here I have a spare fuse for my Fluke multimeter. We have a RF probe for my Fluke multimeter, and 2 adapters to convert my multimeter to utilize alligator test clips. Over here I have a couple spare mini UHF RF connectors. These are alignment wands. Basically these are just non-conductive small screwdrivers for adjusting potentiometers. We have a set of pin insertion and extraction tools. This is a spare speaker connector for Motorola radio, and this is a spare power connector for Motorola radio. We have 1 block of super Velcro, a couple of spare feet, and a spare screw for David Clark Series 3800 intercom modules. This is the overall inventory of main compartment 1, and there is a lot of stuff here. Okay, we'll start on this section. We have a can wrench for telecom equipment. We have a 1/4 inch nut driver, 11/32 nut driver, 3/8 nut driver, 7/16 nut driver, and a 1/2 inch nut driver. We have a 1/2 inch 7/16 ratchet wrench. We have a 9mm combination wrench. We have a 5/16 and 3/8 ratchet wrench, 10mm ratchet wrench, a 9/16 and 5/8 ratchet wrench, an 11/16 and 3/4 inch ratchet wrench, a 14mm ratchet wrench, and a 12mm ratchet wrench. This right here is a palm wrench. Palm wrench does standard and metric, and it's pretty handy to get into confined places. I have a variety of precision screwdrivers here. This is my primary screwdriver, which is a ratcheting type of screwdriver. It stores bits in the handle. It can also function as a nut driver, and it has a small magnetic pickup on a rod inside of it. This is an articulating 1/4 inch driver. You can see it bends, so it's great for working in tight places. It's got a hood on it, so you can drop a screw into there if you can get the screw started. Keep it from falling out and getting lost. We have a Cat 5 jumper. We have a Cat 5 jumper that's terminated on one end and free at the other end, so I can build a custom jumper if necessary. This is a DC lighter plug to alligator clip power adapter. I have my multimeter. I have a phone line tester, a standard 120 outlet tester. These are my RF crimping pliers. We have 2 RF strippers for coaxial cable. This is a stripper for phone wire. This is a stripper for hookup wire. This is a crimper for insulated terminals. And this is a crimper for non-insulated terminals, and it has an end nipper at the end of it. This is a magnetic pickup on one end, and on the other end you place a slotted screw into here and then load it, and it retains the screw. So this allows you to start slotted screws in confined spaces without losing the screw. We have a toothbrush to use for cleaning whatever. We have 2 sets of hemostats, a long set of hemostats and a smaller set. We have a standard set of wire cutters, a little bit smaller set, and then a precision cutter. We have a large cable cutter and 2 RG58 cable jumpers with adapters. Razor knife box cutter. This is a Sawzall blade. It's been affixed to a handle, and this folds up. I did a video on making these yourself. An X-Acto knife set, a standard set of scissors, and a nibbling tool. Precision needle nose, Scotch lock pliers, dikes, small needle nose with wire cutter, set of long handle needle nose, bent 90 degrees at the end, channel lock plier, and a small vice grip. And here are the contents of main compartment 2. We have a notebook, silver Sharpie, a black Sharpie, a pen, and a pencil. Admin supplies are extremely important for taking notes. We have a soldering heatsink. We have a desoldering pump, solder flex. We have 3 different sizes of solder. Solder wick, a stainless scrubby to clean the tip and also to remove corrosion from any items we may be working with. And we have an extra tip for the Hakko soldering station. We have a heat gun. This is a test jig I made to test David Clark 3800 series system modules on the radio side. A headlamp, magnetic back work light. We have our flute toner, a tempo probe, a set of modular crimpers, 4 voltage detector. This is a Cat 5 cable tester, a bag of various sizes of nylon wire ties, 1 bag of heat shrink tubing of various sizes. And this is the hardware store section right here. I have Euro blocks and connectors and RF connectors and fuses and 1-to-1 audio transformers and all kinds of miscellaneous stuff in here. And in here I have wire nuts and modular plugs and more crimp type connectors and RF connectors. And having all these items with you inside your tool bag saves you a tremendous amount of time. I have an X-Acto razor saw kit, This is a roll of rescue tape, which is silicone self-fusing tape. This stuff is fantastic. And 3 worm-style stainless steel hose clamps, which are marvelous for splicing together all kinds of things. And here I have a spud, which is basically just a phone jack. I have some cross-connect wire, and I have a telephone jumper right here. And last but not least, this is a small snake eye camera, which is, they say it's an endoscopy camera, which is waterproof, self-illuminated, and runs on the Android operating system. And you can see our endoscopy camera illuminated there on the floor. And this is the kind of image we're getting here. A tool like this is incredibly useful for looking into voids and other places that are inaccessible. And that completes the tool bag overview and inventory. If anyone has any specific questions, please ask them in the comments section below. And many of the unique tools are going to be used in upcoming videos, so stay tuned. I hope this helps. This is Brett from SurvivalComms. Till next time.